video by thanking our subscribers. Again, our community is slowly growing. Don't expect any different. I know not a theme that a lot of people necessarily find engaging, but our little community continues to grow slowly. We had three new subscribers that came in since the last live. So I believe we're almost up to 400 subs, which I mean is amazing for somebody that really never expected anything more than my immediate family and maybe friends to follow. You know, we've had some some success in kind of like building a little community of neurodivergent people that relate to each other, and we kind of like focus on certain topics, um, as well as I'm hoping at some point we'll get to share resources and engage that way a little bit more. So that's us. That's the Neurodive Corner. I'll be honest with you guys though. I was looking at the numbers throughout the channel, and this is feeling like goodbye. Unless you guys really want to continue having me around, um, this might be goodbye, because at this point I'm feeling spent. Um, my professional life is very demanding, as well as my personal life. I carry heavy things on both ends, very heavy on both ends. So it's difficult, right, to build capacity. But I'm a communicator, and this is kind of therapeutic, but it's coming to a point right now that it's almost becoming sad and frustrating. But more than anything, sad, and it makes me feel impotent and hopeless. As you guys know, and you'll see it on the description before I get into today's topic. Thank you to all of the subscribers that just joined the live. Anybody else that is not a subscriber, you guys know what to do. Do all those little things. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. That's the way our tidbits about neurodivergent and about the amazing people that take care of people that are neurodivergent. Okay? And I was just talking that I am feeling like this is goodbye for the channel, because we are not getting the same level of engagement. Um, I've looked to see if it's a copyright issue, if it's a YouTube issue, if it's a chat issue, but I need you guys, if you really want this community to continue, I need you guys to comment, I need you guys to engage, you guys to go check out the shorts. Our shorts were hitting the thousands, and now we're not hitting more than 10 views. So please, same in the description. As you guys know, I'm trying to help my nephew who is autistic, level 3, so he needs significant help with his disability, and we live in a state where he has no coverage at the moment. So we don't have a way to continue paying for his therapies. And those of you that are familiar with ASD know how vital therapy is for autistic patients to remain independent, to navigate their lives and communities, and be able to remain safely in their communities. So please go check out the description. Um, devastated because I keep seeing this GoFundMe accounts for like the dumbest things, or things that are barely legal, and within hours they hit the $200,000, And here I am trying to advocate for an 8-year-old, and I can't get anybody to show up. Not even for the raffle that we have, where the winner will win 2 tickets to go see Chris Stapleton in Charlotte, North Carolina in June. So I don't know if this is going to be goodbye, but this video might be goodbye. And whether it's goodbye or not, today we are going to talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. And I know this is not really a psychological diagnosis, a formal like DSM diagnosis, but it is a pattern enough to be considered a psychological issue, and it can actually be a little debilitating for people that internalize or lack confidence. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody has felt imposter syndrome at one point or another. Me personally, I feel this a lot. I feel like imposter syndrome half of the time. I struggle with self confidence and self esteem and self assurance. So, a lot of the times when people, hi, son, aviation lover, where are we going for vacation? Hi, Ricky Bobby 47. Thank you for joining the live, my guy. Appreciate you. You are our number top fan for the day. So thank you so much, Avery Fernandez. Thank you for joining, aviation lover. Yes, I know. I am very aware that I'm old. I'm 45 years old, people. Like, I'm an old lady. I'm a fucking Gen X. Like, yeah, we old. Um, Actually, my birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna be 46, which sucks. Sucks to be 46. Um, yeah, I definitely, even though the 40s were such a rebirth for me, and I found my voice and found myself in a sense, I still struggle with self-esteem and feel like imposter syndrome half of the time. Let me see. Where am I from? Born and raised in Puerto Rico. Um, oh, wow, Ricky Bobby, I am so very sorry to hear that. Very sorry. So, Shay, my name is Shay. So let's get into imposter syndrome. I love the engagement. Guys, again, do all the things. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and when you're done with this, make sure you go check out the shorts. The shorts have all of our satire, political commentary, and comedy. So go check those out as well, because we need to start hitting numbers, because if not, YouTube is gonna push me out. So again, let's talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. So it says it's a pattern of psychological issues where instead of feeling confident, the person experience consistent self-doubt and fear of being exposed as a fraud, even when there is clear evidence that they are beyond competent. Studies estimate that 82% of people experience imposter feelings at some point in their lives. Did I not say that earlier? I know we have all felt this way at one point or another. But studies do show that 82% of the population has experienced imposter feelings at some point in their lives. So if it doesn't sound familiar to you, more power to you. That's amazing. So what is imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome occurs when your internal perception of your abilities does not match the external reality. So somebody can have tons of accomplishments. Somebody can be, crazy intelligent and still experience imposter syndrome. And honestly, it can be crippling for certain people as well. Because when you're a perfectionist, it is very easy to fall. Where what do I know about India? I don't know, but if you want to take me there, I'm going by your handle. Your handle is aviation lover, so I'm assuming you are either a traveler or a pilot. And if you're either or, you told me we'll go visit India. I don't know a whole lot about India. I'm not gonna lie. The little bit that I know is from two employees that I had were from the old country and taught me a little bit. Um, so yeah, because I have a tendency to have that foot and mouth combination. So I made a meal for one of my employees during fasting. You have no idea how embarrassed I was. And I was not aware that I knew Muslim people fast for extended period of time, but I did not know that Hindu people fast for a crazy amount of time as well. So I've done that twice already, where I cooked for somebody when they were fasting, religious, doing their religious fasting. I was raised Catholic, so fasting was a thing, like close to like Good Friday and things like that, but it wasn't a huge thing, you guys know. Anyway, back to imposter syndrome. So anybody feeling, again, this is not a clinical diagnosis, right? So, but this is a pattern that can become pervasive enough where people can get on their own way because they have a very, very hard time accepting praise, accepting compliments, accepting recognition. I fall into those. I get super uncomfortable every time somebody calls me intelligent, or anytime anybody try to give me a compliment, and I have a hard time, honestly, just taking any type of praise for good performers or anything like that. So common symptoms, well, the biggest one is persistent self-doubt. When you are feeling as an imposter, obviously you are going to doubt yourself every second. um Confidence kind of goes out the window. Another one is fear of being found out. So one of the core elements of this pattern of thought is, oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to find out that I'm not that good, and I'm going to get in trouble. So that is one of the most common symptoms as well. So if you find yourself with that pervasive thought, you might be one of those people that is falling into that pattern of imposter syndrome. Let's get contact, uh, if you don't mind. I will talk with you personally. You can go to the description. I usually have my business email there. The other symptom is a very difficult time internalizing success. For these folks, achievements do not stick, not do they provide relief or happiness. To them, it's almost like more proof that they are a fraud and got away with it, right? So no matter how impressive their success is, they dismiss it very quickly, and they have a tendency to minimize their contributions. They overwork and over prep, which obviously can be crippling as well. It makes it difficult to work in team settings, but they do it out of fear of not being good enough. These people are constantly, and again, I put myself in this category. We have a constant internal conversation telling us that we are a disappointment, we are not good enough, you could do so much better, and that type of situation. So yeah, that is another thing that is very common on imposter syndrome. The other part that I was talking about earlier was perfectionism. And we are not talking about your typical perfectionism. Like, this is debilitating. This is, I wrote the same paper 10 times and I'm still trying to edit it. That's what we're talking about when we talk about perfectionism in this context. The other thing is downplaying their strengths. So when people compliment them, they may respond with discomfort. Another common one is self-deprecation. I used to be like that when I had my gastric bypass, and now I all the way back. I mean, you guys can see it, but I lost a ridiculous amount of weight, and when that happened, I didn't even know who I was anymore. It was extremely distressing because one of my main go-tos was always making fun of me being fat. And I went through life making fun of myself. That's how I navigated life. So when I lost the weight and the compliments started coming in, you guys can only imagine how that felt. Like, that was just horrible. I keep seeing people joining the live. Thank you so much. Do all the good things. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell so you know when we're dropping new videos or new shorts. And please engage with the chat. I love chatting with you guys. I don't like just lecturing, it gets boring. Another symptom of imposter syndrome is comparing yourself to others. And this is a trap, especially in the times of social media. We forget that social media and independent media altogether, there's like no rules. So you could really become whoever you want to be. And people curate these lives that are not realistic, nor are they true. Remember, it's like a photo album for those of you that are older than 35. You know, if you look at the photo album, it's snapshots of the best moments. We have done the same with media. And for people that have imposter syndrome and constantly comparing themselves to others, you guys can imagine how this can jump really quick into an anxiety disorder, right? So, common profiles with people like this are the perfectionist, where success is never good enough, mistakes feel like more proof that you are a fraud and incompetent. You have the expert. If they don't know everything about a topic, they feel incompetent. You have the soloist. These are your people that believe that needing help proves that they are incompetent. They will not ask for support. They will not seek support. So obviously, you guys can see how that can become a problem and can become a psychological issue fairly quickly. You also have the superhuman. They measure competence by how many roles they can excel in. So these are your people that are like white rice. They are on everything and still don't feel good enough. These are your, I get to the gym at 3 a.m. I get my cardio in, I get my training, then I go take a shower, I go back home, I cook breakfast, get my kids ready, then I go to my drop off. After the drop off, I go back and I teach a cycling class. Like, those people, you get it, you guys get it, right? And they still feel inadequate. And then you have the natural genius, where if something takes any little bit of effort, they automatically feel like a failure. I always say that I fall between the soloist. Actually, when I was a kid, I was very much the superhuman. I was in everything. I was in choir, I was in the debate team, I was in folklore dancing, I was part of the science club, I was in theater for a little bit. So for a minute, I used to be the superhuman. As I mature more and kept struggling with self-confidence and self-esteem, I started becoming the soloist that never asks for help and is just gonna try and figure it out, and the natural genius where if I'm having a little bit of a hard time doing something or learning a skill, I feel like fuck it, I'm no good. This is it. I got caught. So anyway, um why does it happen? So a lot of it could be with messaging. You know, when you were growing up, your family constantly criticized your achievements or blew them out of proportion. High pressure environments can cause this, like the type of job that I do. Being the firstborn or the only child can definitely aggregate to this. Um, any expectations imposed on you by any parental figures, authority figures, are going to make this even worse. So keep that in mind. Recognize it in yourself. I think we went over that, so I kind of just tell everybody, self evaluate. If you are constantly criticizing yourself for every little thing, and the only way and tone that you know how to talk about yourself is self deprecation, you might be suffering imposter syndrome, to a degree that is now becoming something else and something more pervasive. So just be careful. Imposter syndrome doesn't reflect someone's actual ability. In fact, often it affects highly capable and high achieving individuals. Learning to identify the signs and understanding that the feelings are widespread and normal can help in challenging the self doubt and starting to embrace their accomplishments. Talk therapy can definitely help these individuals as well. Also, somatic um, techniques and somatic measures can actually help these people feel more confident, more grounded, more well rounded, right? And we know that in life, everything is about homeostasis, right? And achieving balance. So, anyway, like I told you guys, thank you to everybody that engaged in the chat. Please go to the description if you want further information or further content. Everything is there in the video description. And please go have fun in the channel. There is tons and tons of content, a lot of funny stuff, especially in the shorts. To those who stuck all the way through the end, I did not plan this video to be this long. Initially, the script was a 10-minute one. So thank you for sticking around. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and lift each other.